What's up, Ateenies? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Curtis.
You know the vibes. Y'all seen the picture? Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all know why y'all here. It's not an illusion. ATEEZ illusion, that is. Make sure you guys become a real one and hit the subscribe button. You'll love to hear it. It's not. Also, make sure you guys jump on over to the Patreon. We'll be getting into the live performance of Illusion. And also, the ATEEZ Guide is up on there and some other like live performances. I think we just did Cyberpunk not too long ago and a couple other joints. So, yeah, no long talk. We can jump right into this and have a conversation when we are done. It's lit! No, fuck that. It that shit said, ooh. Hey, hey, hey. Shit.
Oh, that nice choreo too.
Okay, another dance practice might go crazy.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. The hourglass too. Recurrent theme.
In the preview,
the next song preview. I love that they do that so much.
Open your eyes.
Hold on.
It's like, I think I know this one.
I've heard the "Don't Open Your Eyes" thing.
That was catchy as shit.
No, that was really catchy.
No, this is super catchy. First off, it's definitely a download. I don't know how we missed this one. I feel like this would have been on our radar or something. It's either here nor there. Nah, this was decent as shit though. I like the cadences, like for everything that they had going on. Definitely like a super catchy song. One of the more, I'm not gonna say like laid back ATEEZ tracks, because you know sometimes, well, a lot of times with the title tracks, we know how the production kind of rises because they're like such great performers that everything kind of turns into a grand performance when they're like, you know, doing the choreo and everything. Yeah, but like, you know, as far as their standard, I thought this was pretty like laid back, pretty cool, chill, a nice vibe, more so like vibe music and stuff like that. But I really fuck with this. I'm very interested to see what the dance practice and the live performance of this is going to be, just because I've seen like a lot of unique formations. I see like a lot of good stacking. I seen like the kind of sequences of like behind me, in front of me, you know, like going on and stuff. So this is pretty dope.
Interesting thing about that too, funny enough, is that they were saying this view is like a lie because it's an illusion. So kind of the whole method that they use within the choreo and the camera work there of like kind of stacking and everything like that, and hiding certain things. I feel like that's really creative. And I definitely would love to get a deeper look at that with, you know, any choreo or live performances or things of that sort. Even like the whole idea that the ship kind of like is just in the clouds and not like in the water or anything like that. I like the references early on, how they mentioned like Columbus and everything, like the whole discovering this new world, so to speak. But again, illusion, and you know how they say Columbus didn't actually discover America. So I don't know if that was like some like slick kind of wordplay or anything like that, but nonetheless, like that would fit the kind of illusion theme. So I thought that was really cool as well. Definitely Mingy's verse is probably my favorite.
For sure.
Like the way he kind of sped up the cadence, and he just has this like I don't want to say just like the raspiness of his voice or anything like that, but he just feels like he raps with like such a sense of urgency.
Strong and sexy.
Yeah, like a really, really strong and powerful voice. So I always love kind of, you know, when I get to hear what he adds to the track as well. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I know Hun Jun is also one of the rappers, but I believe he was a little bit more melodic in this, and I'm not too sure that I've heard as much of that side, or at least recognized it for the previous tracks, like before we, you know, checked out the guide and got to know them a little better. So nonetheless, I thought like that was really nice as well, if it was something there. And that high note at the end, I could be wrong, but I believe it was Jung Ho. At least educated guess would be
never wrong guess from what I've seen.
And if it wasn't, nonetheless, I just wanted to kind of credit that, because I did really like that note and kind of what it added to everything as well.
Yeah, and it looks like this is more, you know, the pirate-based theme, as far as like definitely. You said, obviously, like, you know, being on the boat and everything.
The hourglass, the recurring theme of that was something that always stands out to me too. How they kind of, you know, work in these the symbalik kind of messages, and I know we heard that when we you know,
it's time
looked
sensitive.
at the guide and everything like that, like certain things that'll kind of recur for them. I also thought it was interesting too that they trying to think of how to word it, like you know how during like this feels like it's on that same album, and I could be completely wrong, as Fever and Inception. I could be wrong, but I just mean as far as like the themes and kind of what was like going on in there, and the way they would like stretch the words in the title, it was kind of something that I noticed that they did with Inception as well. So it just kind of like, unless that's something they do in multiple albums or anything like that.
It's funny because I was going to say, I know Fever and Inception.
Yeah, you know how they stretch like Fever and everything. It kind of had like the same font and presentation, so I kind of thought it was linked in some regard, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up for you.
I got you. But yeah, like those were all things that definitely I would say stood out to me as well. And I like that this is really mostly like able to just be kind of listened to as a fun vibe. And I know there's like, you know, a lot more to it and everything that they're saying as far as like, you know, again, the whole illusion aspect and things like, you know, because you know how they work that theme, even what we see in like Halazia and stuff like that, where it's like something could be a utopia in presentation, but it could also be a dystopia. And kind of how they work in like the aspects in their storytelling, as far as like the multiple, you know, versions of themselves and multiple.
Funny you said utopia.
Kind of worlds and stuff like that.
Because utopia is right before illusion.
Oh my god. Okay, so that definitely fits. But I like how they kind of work in those complex themes and kind of keep everything. Because like the song individually is great and like, you know, very able to be listened to as far as, you know, general public radio play, that sort of thing as well. But I like how they tie in everything kind of with their previous work as well and incorporate these symbols. It just makes the journey that you're following, you know, ironically much like the whole pirate concept, kind of just a much more fun journey to kind of follow along to.
Yeah, I had Utopia downloaded already, so now I'm gonna download Illusion, and I got Wave.
What other album or project EPs or something?
Treasure EP3, One to All.
Okay, and you know how in the guide they said treasure isn't necessarily like the more so seekers of
Yeah.
something. So I like how all that is kind of tying in with new things that we're watching as well.
Nah, and the guide just kind of helped out so much more with kind of getting a better feel for some of the stuff, especially as far as talking about like the dystopianness, like the villains and everything else. Because now you kind of looking a little bit harder.
And honestly, if
when
you
you're
really
watching the
think about
video.
it, this, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably an older track. Couple years ago,
2019. So yeah.
Okay, but I'm saying look at the progression of say this, and then look at the deeper. And I don't mean deeper like as far as substance or anything like that necessarily, because I don't want to imply that this is lacking it. But it's more so like look at like how much darker everything gets with Wonderland, Gorilla, Halazia, and stuff. So it's like the progression of this like treasure utopia kind of aspects to something like this being a paradise and everything, and then kind of seeing how dark things really like end up getting. Even when you see like Answer and like the whole aspect of the villains and being chased and everything, don't stop. And I don't know exactly like off the top of my head the correlation of when those line up with each other, but I'm really liking kind of the puzzle pieces that are kind of seeming to come together as far as like the progression of this deeper, darker kind of exposure, I guess.
Now you're not too far off, especially like you said, coming from something like Utopia and Wave and things of this nature, going into
ironically all wordplay within the concept.
Like going into that dystopian feel that you know what I mean, you feel on like Halazia and all that type stuff. So it makes sense for the progression of what was going on, because remember before we watched the guide, we had assumptions. Well, we didn't have assumptions. We was just on a type time like the pirate theme is a decent theme, but like kind of how far can you go with it? And I like how the guy kind of broke everything down and just was like, no, it's other themes.
I felt like they explored it really well too.
They did.
And Don't Stop kind of smashing the hourglass and getting which we now know is like a recurring symbol and everything like that. But even things like that where it's like the glass of the shatter kind of stabs out the eye, so you get the eye patch and everything like that. I thought they did like really unique things to kind of work in the the idea of that concept. But now knowing like so much more about like what the concept represents and seeing like the hints that they're kind of sprinkling throughout that isn't just related to that, but kind of something much more deeper about just following a journey and seeking knowledge or information or things like that. But yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, and I'm gonna slap myself because that's from the guy kind of too. The album was called One to All. What do they say before they do their thing? Like 8 for 1 or
yeah.
One
is 8 or 8 is 1.
Yeah,
8 is 1 probably. If I'm not mistaken.
Redeemer's about to cook us in the couch.
They gonna motherfucker.
Yeah, but I just remember that being like kind of their calling sign before like doing everything. So the album being one to all seems like a little bit of a correlation, but could be reaching. Is it?
I actually like this song as well. I love actually the rap lines in this. It was really, I love his cadence. Like Kurt said, his cadence really worked for this beat and the flow. I also love the line distribution throughout the whole song. Like it was broke down perfectly in my opinion. Everyone smoked whatever part they had, whether it was group or by themselves. I love the concept of the song. I love this video and their outfits. The sweater's the most. Pants was definitely fire. I don't know, for some reason I'm getting like a Wonderland. Like they're going somewhere, going on like adventure. Like you said, Columbus, but I don't know why I don't see America for some reason. I see like they're going like to a paradise or something.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, like you say, Utopia is the song before it. Like they're just trying to go to like a magical island away from everything, or they just happen to find an island somewhere while they're on the boat. I like this. I like how cool it is, how chill it is, but it's still poppy at the same time. It's not like punch you in the face poppy. It's like a cool little wave boppy.
Wave?
Yes. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, ooh, I like this a lot.
It's not an illusion either.
Yeah, I like this. I definitely do. Last thing, I 1,000% want to see this dance practice. Like, that's a must-see.
The choreo looked like it was slapping.
Yes.
We'll get into it. It's funny, too. The joint is 8 makes 1.
8 makes 1, okay.
Look how many messages I got.
Oh, my God.
I said, this is Ghost. I got 8 messages currently.
That is crazy.
8 burner accounts.
Nah, 8 makes 1. But yeah, I agree with you, bro. This at this point, I don't want to sound like a broken record. Like we kind of already know what it is with ATEEZ. Like the vocal line is phenomenal. The rap line is like super stellar. And I do like the contrast as far as the rap stuff goes, with Mingy kind of having like the, already kind of having a deep voice rapper kind of, and then someone needs to parallel that. I just feel like with either melodic or coming kind of with a different approach, and I feel like that was executed well on here. I really just like the overall vibe of the song, just because I like when their B-sides mostly are more chill because of how grand and like, how decent like the title tracks mostly are. We know this is a heavy like performance-based group, so I feel like with the title tracks, they already know they're gonna like need choreo and kind of everything to kill whatever live performance they do with us or whatever, award show they perform the title track at. But when you get these cooler, like kind of just chill songs and stuff that are like, I don't want to say like TikTok, because then some people might like take that as kind of like, what do you mean by that? But just something that's a bit more like laid back, and the GP can kind of do like the choreo maybe a little bit easier. But yeah, anything else from there?
I guess lastly, the whole production side of everything and how everything is like really chill. Like I do like the production that they have on this, and just kind of knowing that a lot of their production is like classical in a lot of ways. Whether that's exactly like Han Jun's contributions in some of the either compositions or anything like that, or just in the producing side of it. But it's I like how they are able to like, because like I love all their kind of classical like influences and stuff like that they use to kind of draw from the source, which is again ironic in the sense that the form of traveling and everything that they use with the whole pirate concept is like a predated kind of thing, as far as like how society would like start off with things. Like travel by ship was probably one of the first like kind of adventure things. So it's funny that they would often go back to sampling classical kind of instruments and music. So seeing like them be able to do that and have such a knowledge for that thing, at least to kind of what we've been able to perceive so far, certainly. And then seeing like kind of beats like this, like it's just like it adds so much kind of to the repertoire of kind of the areas in which you're able to go, where you can do those turn up tracks, but you can also do the the deep kind of emotional B-sides and things of that nature, but then the grandiose presentation kind of songs that also have messages. Like they're just able to successfully fit into so many lanes, and it's always fun to see them explore these newer sides, even though it's probably older chronologically speaking, but newer to us as far as like the repertoire of kind of what we're seeing.
Yeah, and I love these just because at the end of the day, we already know what's up with them as far as those bigger performance songs goes. So when you hear songs like this, to me, it just added more notches on the belt. It's just putting ATEEZ in a different category of like artists that really can genre bend and really be fluent when it comes to their music. To be like, we can do ballads, we can do, kind of more hip hop centric, straightforward things. We can, do classical kind of, or something that's going to be a bit more contemporary. Thank you. Things that's going to be a bit more on the contemporary side of things, and be able to kind of execute that when they do like live performances and stuff. So anytime you get like gems like these, I kind of really like these a lot. Shit, my favorite song from them is Promise, and that's a song that's not as grand as everything else. It's kind of just more of a kind of not a turn up song, but kind of like more of a
I go back and forth. It's like I love Wonderland, Answer, Turbulence, like
hit it to the beat.
Don't Stop.
I'm a sucker for Fever.
Yeah. No, Fever, Inception.
Inception.
And then obviously
Wave.
like the Star 1117 is like big for me. Not Too Late.
Yeah, Not Too Late is a banger.
Some of the more kind of melodic, ballad-esque sort of B-sides. But yeah, they just have so much great content.
Yeah, downloaded this. Jump in the comments, tell us how y'all felt about this. Definitely gonna be doing more ATEEZ stuff. Definitely make sure you guys jump on the Patreon. We're about to get into the live performance of this so we can see some of the choreography a little bit more, and probably get into some more content from them too. Love y'all, Redeemers. We're gonna holler at y'all.
Take care.